What's up guys, it's TyranitarTube and welcome back to Pokemon Conspiracies that may be real. Let's keep going. I feel like in this video we're just gonna have a bunch of ass theories. None of these are gonna be right. Zarude was originally a part of a trio with Passimian and Oranguru in Gen 7. So this theory says that Zarude is a part of the trio, but someone during the development got promoted. Evidence for this, they have a trio of fighting, psychic, and dark. The classes, they say Passimian is a warrior, Oranguru is the sage, and Zarude is the speedy rogue, or thief I guess. And they say how Game Freak has had fun with RPG classes, so it's totally possible that they came up with these 3 monkeys, and they decided 2 is enough, and then they looked back at their 3rd monkey like, yo, this is pretty good, let's just turn into Zarude. I prefer the one where he's part of a trio that are evil counterparts to the Galar starters. Wait, this is more interesting. Zarude do look like the evil monkey for Rillaboom. I'm gonna look up this theory. Bruh, the theory's freaking missing. Who would Cinderace and Inteleon's evil counterparts be in the Galar deck? I'll figure out the theory for us. Bro, there's actually like no water Pokemon in Gen 8 other than Cramorant and the fossils. Is this for real? Well, this is kind of an ass Pokedex. No, this is why people are complaining about Pokedex sizes. Who knows what the counterparts are? I'm gonna give Inteleon Cramorant, and Cinders can be Sanduscorch. Get this theory out of here. Nidoran came from Kanto to Johto. Okay, we've seen theories like this before. This is pretty much that Nidoran is only in the Safari Zone, but if you go to Johto, the dude's chilling in the wild grass. I'm gonna give this possible straight off the bat. Pokemon does some weird things. Especially after Hisui, we understand better now that Pokemon don't just originate from the region that they're in right now. Smaller things can slide, like if Nidoran really was from Johto. But how do you get Exeggutor registered as like Pokemon 99? When it's actually not a Kanto Pokemon? We found this Exeggutor, knew when we wrote the Pokedex entry that there are original ones in the tropics and still registered it in Kanto. It's almost as if Oak is the one who jump-started a proper Pokedex formation on all the species. That's why it starts from Kanto, and then it kind of branches off with future professors adding to it in their region. But it gets a bit weird because in Legends, you're already helping with the Pokedex. Okay, maybe it's like this. Every region has kind of naturally made a regional dex of their Pokemon. But then Oak maybe started the system of registering everyone into one giant encyclopedia. That's the national dex. So because Oak originated it, we give Exeggutor his Cantonian number instead of his Alolan. This is a theory from 9 years ago about Froakie, about 2 months after X and Y was announced. Frogs have been associated with weather in many cultures, some Australian aborigines. This leads me to believe Froakie's later evolution will be water flying to represent him being a frog water deity. Hey, you know these 2 look so goofy? I'm telling you, any Pokemon design can work as legendaries. Make those 2 as just counterparts in 2 different games. Can't you see it? Wouldn't you go after them? Some people thought water electric. Let's get out of here. Legendaries and history of Pokemon and man. Really long. Okay, I'll cut it down for you. Ooh, this is a sick theory. This is explaining how the universe formed all the way from the start of what we know. Arceus and its egg. At the beginning, we have an egg, and from it hatched Arceus. Arceus is in a void, chaos basically, and from the chaos, Arceus created the 3 Pokemon. Dialga rules time, Poke rules space, and Giratina was sent to an alternate dimension where chaos rules. Dialga and Palkia shaped the cosmos. Meanwhile, Arceus is creating new Pokemon. Mew is the first official one. Once Dialga and Palkia finished with the cosmos, Arceus created Latios and Latios to search space to see if anything that Dialga and Palkia made had brought forth life. Years later, the Eon Pokemon returns with Dialga. Hey, what? Bro, this was going sick. Imagine if Mew was something Arceus created himself that then flourished into Earth's Pokemon. Latios and Latios would be Dialga and Palkia's little task force mans who go searching for accidental life. So the only planned life would be Earth because Arceus injected it with a Mew. But why do they gotta come back with Deoxys? He can't be a part of this story. Deoxys' DNA in combination with Mew's helped to form hundreds of Pokemon. Bro, Mew can mutate his own DNA. He don't need this virus thing. But where to put them? While the laddies were searching the cosmos, Arceus had created Kyogre and Groudon to create land and seas. You know, if you focus that Earth is the only planned life by Arceus' own hands, you can actually make sense of the legendaries that exist. They made Kyogre and Groudon, but their power was so great, so Arceus created Rayquaza. Bruv. Nah. Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza can't be things Arceus made himself. They need to be like tyrants of nature. They need to have accidentally grown to this strength. Whatever, Arceus and Rayquaza send Kyogre and Groudon into deep sleep. Now they're buddying up, hoping they would never be unleashed upon this world again. Sky Pillar was built for Rayquaza to keep the weather in Hoenn safe. Okay, so we're talking more about primordial days. So Arceus creates Kyogre and Groudon, realizes it's a mistake, and then creates Rayquaza too. This is the problem though, when Arceus has so much power he can create anything, it loses meaning. He can make anything he wants. Why is it special he made a Rayquaza or something? That's why it feels better that Arceus can only do certain things and everything else blooms from nature. Okay, afterwards, Arceus creates Regigigas to move the land masses to their current position. Why, bro? Why do they need to be moved? This world will work whatever position they're in. Maybe they're trying to say there was like a small island only on Earth, and after he made Kyogre and Groudon, all these different bits of land form. Afterwards, it was sent into a deep sleep in the northernmost reaches of Sinnoh. Damn, Arceus is a sucker, man. You can't just make Pokemon. They're not even born. You make them and then put them to sleep. Back to Deoxys and Mew. They create hundreds of Pokemon. But what was the first one? Heatran. That's what I thought too. Heatran. Goodness. From the amount of Pokemon you could have chosen, it's the only legendary that can be either male or female. This is because Deoxys and Mew were experimenting with DNA. Yo. Hold up. Deoxys and Mew are doing what? After seeing Heatran's incredible power, being able to melt through walls and all, they concluded that if they were to make legendary Pokemon, they shouldn't breed. One legendary in the world is bad enough. What did y'all do to your DNA? What is the deal with legendaries not being able to breed? They just don't want to. Legendaries can breed. If Heatran wanted, if Groudon really wanted to, he could breed with a Ditto. Pokemon are sent out from them all over the world, but the problem is not many are surviving. That's fine, that's because you're creating everything with your hands. Let them die and reborn. Of course no one is surviving. The world is barren and bleak, and no life has grown from Groudon's rocks he created. Nothing grows from rocks. As more Pokemon are being created, some evolve into bigger, better forms. One of these evolutions was the crossing of a Mr. Mime and Jinx. Don't ask how this resulted in a baby human. This theory is not serious. I read the comments before I started. I saw that was freaking great. What was great? That my grandma and grandpa's a Mr. Mime and Jinx? Now listen, I can buy it. Not really. Only because humans are probably psychic types. If we were to be able to use powers, we're weak to the psychic common fears, the ghosts, the dark bugs. Legends Arceus kind of put a line between us and Pokemon, with Pokemon being able to shrink and all. But maybe we're that way too. We just lost a part of ourselves. But we're Pokemon too. You ain't telling me, bro, that we didn't descend from monkeys or chimps, but from Jinx and Mr. Mime. So if I mime right now, am I tapping into some ancestral power? Well, this is how I go Super Saiyan if I do this long enough. Mr. Mime and Jinx made a human baby. Humans began to live alongside Pokemon, but not as trainers. They saw themselves equaled in the Pokemon's eyes. Some humans began to use tools. Arceus, seeing man has now stepped out from the Pokemon line that they came from, gave them the 3 Regis as ways to make other tools. What am I gonna do with the Regis, man? And learn more about the Pokemon they came from. Okay, makes sense. That's the equivalent of Arceus giving man fire. Kind of. I can buy that we're descended from Pokemon, but you don't have to specify Mr. Mime and Jinx. Man did so, but feared the Regis and the power they had. So groups of men locked them away so they wouldn't learn from Pokemon about the past anymore. Bruh, God gives you the Regis and you lock them away. I'm pissed at this fantasy world. The land was flourishing and man is becoming more powerful, but what about other legendaries? Surely Mew and Deoxys or Arceus created more, right? Yes, we know this to be the case, but when? The unknown. They said Arceus gave man unknowns so that they could communicate between man and Pokemon. Unfortunately, man created its own alphabet similar to the unknown, but not similar enough for Pokemon to recognize. How are Arceus gonna give you the English alphabet? This isn't like our language, we don't want it. Arceus sent the unknown to the realm of Giratina for them to stay. Bro, you have to stop making these Pokemon only to banish them and put them to sleep. Bro, this god sucks. I'm with Volo now. Someone gotta go catch Arceus and put him in a ball. I can't stand for this. Jirachi was born from the creation of the cosmos by Dialga and Palkia. Yeah? Oh, it's a Pokemon the laddies should have found in space. But the laddies couldn't find it because it was riding on a comet. And Jirachi comes down to Earth every 1,000 years to grant the wish of either a man or a Pokemon. Someone better kill this Jirachi. This man's like the Super Dragon Balls. You tell me Jirachi rides a comet and leaves? What a troll. There's different origins you can make to Pokemon. Make Jirachi this like weak Pokemon that was fueled, like a real weak Pokemon that was fueled by a bunch of like crying humans a long time ago, that it like self-actualized wanting to make their dreams come true, and it became a Jirachi and then became a myth, something like that, right? You can't keep saying they just were created by Arceus, or we found them in space. The Lake Guardians were created by Arceus as a backup to Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. Okay, facts. They not only embody language, emotion, and willpower, but can interact with man, trying to express their embodiments into their minds. Bro, what does that even mean? Trying to express their embodiment into their minds? No one knows what that means, and somehow men were fearful of it. Men were fearful of them, and so the Lake Trio went away to their caves in Sinnoh to meditate until they were needed. Mew and Deoxys also created Manaphy. It's so supernatural. Just make Manaphy this Pokemon that ruled the seas in ancient times. That's it. It's a normal Finneon-like Pokemon. Maybe there's a bunch of them. It's the last of its kind. It's called the Prince now. Mew and Deoxys also created Manaphy as a guardian to not only the sea, but to Kyogre as well. He don't need to be guarded. What you talking about? You put him to sleep because he can guard himself. Manaphy unfortunately can breed. Unfortunately. So Mew and Deoxys made sure that it wouldn't be the same as Manaphy. Hence Phione coming into existence. I'm about to just delete this video. Back to the story of man. As man is evolving, it occasionally mixed technology into Pokemon. The first instance was with what man called Genesect. Man feared this Pokemon for its sheer ferocity and hunted it into extinction. They're saying Genesect itself 300 million years ago. That's what his Pokedex says. Was like already a modified Pokemon by man. It is revived later by Plasma, as we know, and upgraded even more. The second time man messes with technology in Pokemon is hundreds of years later with Apricorns. Soon Unova developed technology to mass produce them, gaining extreme growth and wealth. Blah 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 blah. But man was greedy and tried to make a huge price for the Pokeballs, since none of the other regions could mass produce them like Unova could. Zekrom and Reshiram, the guardians of Unova, both took different sides on the matter. They fought over the price of Pokeballs, resulting in fighting that tore them apart. You're telling me we ain't about truths or ideals. We fought to lower the Pokeball price, resulting in the fighting that tore them apart. Kyurem was to reunite them at one point, but only when man had learned from his mistakes. What was the mistake, good sir? Tell me. Y'all don't know what you're fighting over. How are you gonna take the actual story of Zekrom and Reshiram told to us and you just make them fight over Pokeballs? Where's the origin of them? Mew and Deoxys decided to take a different angle this day. They made the original dragon. I'm surprised they didn't go with the idea that Arceus created the original dragon, and it's kind of like the fourth dragon he made. I thought that was an easy one for you to write in. Quick side note, during the growth of man and Pokemon, there wasn't much weather due to Rayquaza's overwhelming power. So Arceus brought forth Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus to create weather for the world. However, Tornadus and Thundurus had free reign, so to speak, and brought havoc on the world. Landorus and Namorous, I guess, along with Rayquaza, punished them, keeping them under check. This is why rain and lightning only last for a short period of time. Why? Because Rayquaza makes it expire? Also, man was superstitious about natural events like the full and new moons. Of course. To fulfill the superstitions, Mew and Deoxys... To fulfill superstitions? The Mew and Deoxys created Cresselia for the full moon and Darkrai for the full moon. Unfortunately, Darkrai had the power to create nightmares. How though? Mew just rips off a finger, gives it to Deoxys. Darkrai is born, and this man just has nightmare powers. The nightmare powers weren't planned by Mew and Deoxys. To counter this, Cresselia was given the power to create good dreams. Now man has Pokeballs and is starting to train Pokemon as their own, but sometimes man overstepped their bounds on the land of Pokemon. To prevent man from fully ridding the world of their natural habitat, Arceus created the Swords of Justice. Yeah? That's the best you could do? They protected wild Pokemon. If your world's so ass that you have to keep making new Pokemon to balance it, bro, you dumb, Arceus. Man messed with technology in Pokemon a third time. This resulted in the Pokemon War. I guess pre-Kanto. How did this start? This has long been debated, but I think I found a semi-viable source. The Swords of Justice had a place where they stayed. Man got a group together that was fairly powerful. The most powerful trainers at the time attacked them. Sensing trouble, Mew and Deoxys created Keldeo. Oh yeah! There wasn't enough time to get Keldeo fully grown like the rest of the trio, so Mew and Deoxys supercharged Keldeo, and it saved the swords before they died. How about Mew and Deoxys, who are gods of the world, can fix the problem themselves? What are we gonna do? Let's invent something. This action resulted in the beginning of the Pokemon War. So the Pokemon fought the men for almost killing the Kawalian, and it turned into a huge war. Pokemon fought against man constantly, some getting captured and forced to battle against their comrades. That ain't how it works, bro. Is that how it works? If I catch a Pokemon, are they forced to obey me? I'm pretty sure they obey me by choice. It's not mind control. It's not like there's a wilder appear here, activate change of heart, and now it's fighting for me. Kanto was hit the hardest in the war. Man had bases in Victory Road, the power plant, and Seafoam Island. Okay, let's see where this leads. Arceus wanted to get man out of these areas, created the bird trio, and had them attack the humans. Arceus! We came to chill. Why are we here if we can't explore? Lugia was created by Arceus to control the birds, and Ho-Oh was created as an attacker to the Johto region. Ho-Oh, the beautiful Phoenix Pokemon, is a attacking Pokemon? Like, they're saying Ho-Oh just attacks the region. Small areas were destroyed in Johto, by Ho-Oh probably, but one of the key places attacked was the Brass Tower, the resting place of Lugia. Ho-Oh accidentally attacked and burned it to the ground. That is not what happened. Ho was chilling on the other tower and decided to stop by when it saw the flames. This man is a witness, not the cause. That's why he resurrected the dogs. Ho attacked it accidentally and burned it to the ground. This posed a huge problem. In the tower were 3 Pokemon. Only 3. The evolutions to Eevee to be exact. They went to the tower to pray for Arceus to end the war, but were burned with the tower to the ground. Ho saw the mistake and resurrected them with superior forms from their prior selves. This is how the legendary beast came to be. They didn't leave the tower because they were waiting for the right trainer to let them roam the world. Yo, you mean they were waiting for us to trigger that cutscene? Once released, this is why they run over the Johto region. Their previous forms had memories of the regions. They don't have memories now, and run around the world to collect them. Well, I like that. The war isn't over yet, but it is close. To solidify the end of the war, Arceus created Meloetta, having it use its song to calm the world from war. This great sacrifice causes the war to end, but has lost its song forever, only remembered in the minds of people. Almost all legendaries go to sleep, save a few like Ho-Oh to wander the world, Mew who's journeying the world to see what it has created, and Rayquaza to keep watch on the weather. Peace is back in the world of Pokemon for now. Okay, well this explains why all the legendary Pokemon are dormant, but man should Meloetta be a freaking cover Pokemon with that kind of strength. A boy is born. He doesn't know much before he became a trainer, but after he is born, Giovanni gets a hold of Mew DNA. He assembles scientists and creates Mewtwo, and attempts to recreate Mew from a safer form of Mewtwo. Scientists keep playing with Mew's DNA and create Ditto. Once Red is of age, he starts owning every trainer and gym leader in his path to the championship. He beats Blue for the crown, but keeps searching for greater challenges. He captures all of the birds. He heads to Mount Silver in order to seek a greater trainer than him. In this self-induced reclusion, Red gets even more powerful. Arceus is aware of this and creates Victini, a Pokemon powerful enough to keep people with bad intentions from reaching those intentions. Red got bad intentions where? Victini is close by when Gold battles Red, just in case Red does win and become the most powerful trainer ever. Victini is there to kill Red if needed, but we know that won't happen. I'm sleeping. Damn, Arceus, you better reset this world and do it right. So remember the egg that I referenced at the beginning of this theory, wondering how it got there? This occurs in the future. Hundreds of years after the events of Gold and Red, the world is dying, and Arceus knows this. In the closing moments of the world, not having the power to stop the end of everything, Arceus creates 2 things: an egg containing itself, and Celebi! Are you freaking me? Celebi is the time traveler, and in the last moments of the world, transports itself to the beginning of the universe to let the cycle begin once again. Celebi then goes back to different points in the future, thus making it possible for there to be not only multiple Celebis, but also shiny Celebis. Explain how they're shiny Celebis. That makes no sense. That's the freaking end. Wait a minute. Is this more of like a mythology thing? That starts to make more sense. This is not something describing the history of Pokemon in like a realistic sense about Earth. It's more like mythological. Like the Greek tales, Prometheus gives man fire. It doesn't take into account like 300 million years of Pokemon and stuff. In that sense, Arceus creating everything kind of works. That's kind of how stuff is. And so on some Norse thing, they made it loop. Celebi goes back to the beginning with the egg. It keeps happening. Okay, this was good. I take it back. So stuff like the Genesect thing in this would have happened like at the start of it. Do I even need a possible nuzable? This was my whole video you took. The mysterious Pokemon at Bill's lighthouse was originally supposed to be Lugia. So this theory pretty much says that the anime started in order to promote the games. And so the first episode has Ho-Oh to promote the coming Gen 2. And so they also wanted to show Lugia at some point, which would have been at the lighthouse where there's a giant Dragonite. That Dragonite brought some creepy but legendary vibes. It would have made sense if it was a Lugia too.
That's a big Pokemon.
So size does matter.
Apparently Dragonite's cry in the episode when Team Rocket attacks it is the same as Lugia's cry. Or sounds like it. Let me find the clips. And apparently Bill mentions in the episode that there are 150 known species, which would make you think the one he's seen at the lighthouse is not one of them. Darn, maybe in early writings they thought that, but why would they ever at all scrap it and put Dragonite then? What flaw is there in putting Lugia there? They think it was scrapped because Lugia was gonna feature in the second movie, so they didn't want to show it here. But come on bro, that's free promotion. Literally Lugia visits then leaves? And you tell me we get to mess with that Lugia in the movie? That's promotion. So because this is the episode where Ash catches a Krabby, they couldn't scrap it because it's on his team now. So they changed it from Lugia to Dragonite. This is something they did again with the GS Ball plot where the creators admitted it was going to lead to an arc involving Celebi, but they scrapped it because Celebi was going to star in a movie. The Celebi arc I can understand because that's an actual arc involving Ash meeting a Celebi and things happening. But a cameo? That's a literal teaser trailer. The Lugia popping up then leaving. Only issue is that Lugia was never meant to be in the games originally and was designed exclusively for the second movie. Could you imagine Pokemon did that? They just made Pokemon and never put them in the game. They're kind of on the pathway for that. Now that there's no more national decks, they can do whatever they want. They might actually at some point make legendaries that just never appear in the games. When Shudo tackled Lugia's creation, he did so with the mentality that it wouldn't appear in the games at all and would be anime exclusive. They eventually made it the rival of Ho-Oh. So Ho-Oh was supposed to be kind of like the main legendary, and then they brought in Lugia. It could work. I mean, that's what happened apparently. Gold and Silver don't focus on you resurrecting the legendary, and Ho-Oh looks mythological, like what Pokemon Gold and Silver is actually about. You know, the kimono girls dancing. It works for Lugia too now, but it would make sense if it was like an afterthought. Hey, yo! You know what, man? I'll give you possible, but I like that it's a Dragonite. Alright, I'm gonna call it quits here, guys. Go on and shank that like button. That one theory took all the time. We had some ass theories this part. If I find more, I'll do another one. See y'all in the next video. Take care.
Bitch, I'm the man. Give me my spot on that throne. They didn't want me to grow. They didn't know I would make all of them grow. I did it all on my own. Man, what was you when I was trapped in my zone? Never had nothing to own. Now it's all good.